Hello, gamers! Welcome back to another DSP video. Hopefully, I'm begging the automaton that this will be only, I'm gonna say 2 hours at most. But I want to react to him talking about fighting games because this is quite a segment. It's a small segment, but I'm sure I'm gonna make it long. I'm gonna find a way. Don't you worry. If you think this will be a short video, I'm probably gonna debunk you. It's gonna be 5 hours. I'm gonna say 5 hours. That's gonna be the length of this video. All right, let's fucking go.
I don't have priority of bills. They all get paid. I don't
They
even
all
know
get
what that
paid.
even means. Why would you even ask me that randomly?
Okay.
Oh, here we go. I don't know if I believe that. Is that speaking cultures, particularly in Latin? That's what it is. I don't know.
Okay, am I on the
Thank you
right?
for that tip. And then there's another one.
Oh my god, it fucked me over. This
It's
isn't.
troll.
Oh my
So I'm just going to
God.
ignore them. Okay. I didn't get to play that much. I might just pick new characters and mess
There we
around
go.
rather than pick my share of new to work for him. And they probably paid him a few $1 million.
Okay. Sure.
All right. First sub today. Joins or someone with a $6 tip. Excuse me.
Oh my god, so much
Welcome
money
to
talk.
the Soy Colton.
Okay, drink some bleach, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah?
Here's why our
Okay.
next story is interesting.
Finally!
A few weeks ago, I covered a topic regarding Street Fighter 6. It was actually about a month ago at this point now, I think. And the topic was this. I felt
My
that
topic
Street
is
Fighter
thus.
6 was being ruined because too many people in the modern day rush to the internet and share the meta of these fighting games right away.
Yeah?
And because they do, there is no actual time
I
frame
love the
when people have
random
discovery,
like fist.
where they play the game and they
Oh my
learn
god.
the
Look at these
meta
hand
of these
gestures.
fighting games right away. And because they do, there is no actual time frame when people have discovery, where they play the game and they learn it at their own pace, and different people discover different things and play differently. And then those strategies are refined through competition. Instead, everything about a game is
You can-
known within the first
whatever.
few weeks. The meta is discovered, and then these
Didn't people
characters just
think
aren't
Mai
interesting
sucked?
anymore. Notably, Mai
But now people are
Shiranui,
like, well, maybe she doesn't
when she
suck.
first came out, no one knew what to do
Whatever.
with her for a couple of days. But then within a few days, all the breakdown videos were online, all the footage was online, and therefore the character just wasn't that interesting anymore. Okay?
This is
At that
really
time,
dumb.
I started a
By the way,
discussion.
the tweet that he's gonna show up does not even talk about what he's talking about. This is like such a forced way to validate his own dumb fuck opinion.
And I said, did you notice that basically with these fighting games today, there is no real originality? It's not like when you're playing a fighting game back in the day, once one person would pick Ryu, and their gameplay style with Ryu in Street Fighter 2 would be,
Dude, this tone. Oh my god. It is starting to like piss me off. It is just fucking like presenter voice. It's not human. It's just, as you know, Street Fighter is a fighting game that a lot of people played in the past. And when they would play this fighting game, like, oh my god, dude, just talk like a normal person. Like, dude, come on.
would be, I'm keeping away. I'm just going to pelt you with fireballs, and I'm going to upper
All right.
footsies, strategies, try to mix you up, do combos. All right. And then another person would pick Ryu, and they'd have another unique strategy. Okay. So you
Okay.
would play old school fighting games, and they would all feel completely unique and different depending on who you were playing. A one Chun-Li would be rush down, constantly trying to hit you and throw you into throw loops. Another Chun-Li would be complete keep away with fireballs and her up kicks. And it felt great because of that. Fighting games felt interesting, different, unique, and fresh. You would go to a tournament and play someone, and you'd be like, wow, I've never experienced what I just saw before, and I learned something. So your trip out to the tournament felt like it was worth it because you would actually learn.
What?
Today, these games
Whatever.
have been so dumbed
Okay,
down,
yeah, there's no other reason
and they're
to
so
go to
easy to play
tournaments.
with absolutely no skill required to do any of the combos or moves. They're all easy mode shit. There's no actual practice really required outside of sitting in the lab for an hour.
I love this. There's no practice except for sitting in the lab. So there's no practice, but you have to go to the lab and try stuff. Okay, that makes sense. just bang your head against the wall.
hour or two, you've learned everything. And with everyone posting
Oh, it's 1
all
and
of the
2
meta
hours.
strategies online
It's too
right away,
short.
the era of discovery is gone. The era of individuality has left the building. Why is
I'll
it
play Guilty Gear
that
then. I
every
don't
time
know.
that we play Street Fighter 6 and we face a Cammy, a Jury, a JP, it always
Dude,
feels like you're fighting exactly the same?
this is just this dumb shit. Of course, yeah, people are gonna pick top tiers or a character that just won a tournament. Like, you know, I'm sure I'm gonna see more Ramethals in Strive now since Ram won. Even though Venom came out, so I'm, you know, might be a little more Venom favored, but I'm sure you're gonna see more Rams and maybe more Gold Lewises and all this other stuff. But who fucking cares? Like these, like, yeah, they'll pick. I mean, I know the thing that's also kind of like funny about this is that a lot of people have been talking about there's not that all these fighting games have gone somewhat simple. Like Strive, I'm gonna talk about the game I know. They've just kind of like removed a lot of tools that a lot of characters used to have, like Baiken, Faust, and all this stuff. And some characters don't play the same as they did in the past because of this. And a lot of the game systems were changed as well. Like Strives has a way more simple roaming cancel system and has a much more, and it's slower than Exard. But I mean, I've also seen some people on the flip side say Strive is a harder game to learn as well. So it's like it's actually a weird dichotomy. I don't know much about like why people would think Strive is harder, but then some people say, well, it's easier. But it's a weird situation. I feel that Strive is in, because on one hand, it's like I don't. It almost kind of comes up as Street Fighter V era, like the middle of Street Fighter V's lifespan, where it's like more people have started to enjoy 5, but then there's also people that just hate 5. Like that's where I think Strive is kind of in right now. So maybe the next Guilty Gear game will have Street Fighter 6 era, where it's like, oh, it's great, whatever. But I have seen people say that, like, combos are getting less and less like varied and this and that, but it's more just talking about the game system and not about the players. DSP seems to be more critical of the player than the game than anything before, and it's like, just deal with it, grow up, like, yeah, the games are not as like great as the older ones, but they're their own thing. Just play the old ones; they're still there. Like, I don't know.
The same person, despite the fact you're not. You're actually fighting the same strategies, the same stuff over and over. The game's been designed that way.
Well, like DSP didn't even learn.
This is a major problem, in my opinion.
Like, at all.
This is why people are bored of playing games like Street Fighter 6 and saying, wow, this game sucks. Mine came out, the game was refreshed for 2-3 weeks, and now no one cares about Street Fighter 6 anymore. It's like, who cares? When's Elena coming out? The next DLC character?
That's any fighting game. People were saying that with Street Fighter 5, probably Street Fighter 4. Like, oh, when's the next version coming out? Whatever. Like, this isn't new. And to say that, like, well, you notice that Mike came out and then people already moved on to when's Elena coming out? I mean, that's going on anyway. People are saying that about Guilty Gear. Venom is out now, and now they're like, oh man, what's Unica gonna be like? Oh, I wonder if she's gonna be an easy character because of the anime and this and that. Like, people are already talking about the 5th season of Strive.
The character. Jeez, right?
Like, it's March.
So,
I mean,
at
whatever.
the time that I was talking about this, Button Check, who is a online content creator on YouTube who covers fighting games, actually picked up the story and actually covered a video or two of mine where I talked about it, and we kind of went back and forth a little bit about the discussion. And where we ended the discussion was simple. The end of the discussion was thus.
Whatever.
DSP is saying this now, but no one wants to ever listen to DSP. Everyone wants to turn DSP into the butt of a joke. No one likes him, right?
You didn't say that part.
Especially in the fighting game community, even though, as you guys know, I'm literally not a part of the fighting game community.
But look at all the people that, like, sided with DSP in that back and forth. Like, Bunchak didn't really pick a side. He was just kind of, like, responding to, because, there's stuff that people said that DSP echoed, but I don't think DSP really comprehended what he was echoing. I don't know how to describe it. I keep blanking on the word. I said in the previous video, I think, about it, but it's like he's on the issue, but he doesn't understand why it's an issue or whatever. Like, he has no understanding of it.
I don't go to tournaments. I don't play games competitively.
But the people who are like siding with him are just people who are there like, the old games are good, man. Like, that's it. It was just those people. And these, like, I don't think these people really genuinely even care about DSP. They just like any validation to classic fighting games because that's the heyday. The nostalgia goggles, right?
So why on earth does anyone in the fighting game community have a grudge against me? I have no fucking clue. I have not been a part.
I love. He says he has no clue why people have a grudge against him in the FGC. Meanwhile, he said in the past he was a toxic individual, which creates a reputation, by the way. So of course that will echo through generations because people are gonna know, hey, this is the guy that this other guy said was bad, so he must be bad. Whatever. Secondly, this dude has mocked the FGC, the modern FGC, multiple times. Like, come on.
Part of the FGC for literally, like, I would argue 15 years. Like, the last time I cared about competitive Street Fighter was probably around the era of Street Fighter 4. So why anyone in the FGC gives two shits and doesn't like me and has a grudge against me and what I have to say, I don't know. Why people would say, oh, it's DSP, write him off, I don't know.
Again, they may write him off even without the FGC aspect involved, right? Because you know that you have a reputation outside the FGC, and the FGC can also look at that and say, oh, this guy sucks too, right? Like, he thinks that that whatever happens to the FGC, that's separate from him as a person. Like, you should not be able. So, like, since you don't know how he is as an FGC guy, you can't weigh his opinion down because he could be a knowledgeable person in the FGC. Whatever he does outside of that, that's irrelevant. But that's not true. Because if I spend my entire life lying to people and saying bullshit, and then I go to the FGC and I start saying nonsense, you know, they're gonna just write me off because of the other nonsense I said before they listened to my FGC stuff. Like, it's that simple.
I mean, I was back there in the formative years of Street Fighter, grinding it out in arcades, playing in tournaments, running tournaments. The track record is there and the history is there. But just because I'm DSP, apparently I'm not supposed to be paying attention. Right? Or, no, don't listen to this guy.
Yeah,
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
You don't know what you're talking about. You never learned crush counters in Street Fighter 5. You didn't know how to do drive rush stuff
we had the discussion.
in Street Fighter 6.
All right?
Back
when Street Fighter 5 came out, within the first few months of the game out, I highly criticized the game.
He doesn't know how to fight Cammy. And the game is how old?
Listen, this game is not good. It's too flowcharty. The connections online are awful.
And
the game is not competitive.
He says terms he never said before. Like, what does flowchart mean, my guy? Do you know what that means?
Fun game. It doesn't hold a candle to previous Street Fighters. It's the worst one ever. Everyone yelled at me, panned me. How dare he say that? Because this is the big new fighting game and you're supposed to be hyped for it.
He said for a while he would say, well, the game is sound. It's just the netcode, guys. But now it's the whole mechanics of the game. Street Fighter 6 has kind of transitioned into Street Fighter 5 to him almost. It's almost there. It needs one little push to then become Street Fighter 5 level of hate, I think.
For it, right? Within 2 years, everyone agreed with me. And when Street Fighter 5 was retired for Street Fighter 6, almost every pro came out saying, yeah, this game was actually quite bad.
That's
Street
not necessarily true. Maximilian actually
I was there saying it at first. No one wanted to listen. But now...
Dude, people said Street Fighter 5 sucked at launch. It wasn't a special opinion to say Street Fighter 5 sucked. There were a lot of stuff about that, sure, that was kind of silly, but I mean, I've seen enough hate for Street Fighter 5 to know it was not just DSP.
It's actually the popular opinion. So here we are in Street Fighter 6, okay? And I'm saying this game, sadly, is too easy to play. People are exposing the meta too early online. It's ruining the game. It's making it stagnant. It's making it boring. And it's making it that every time you fight a person, it doesn't feel unique. You're fighting the same bot, the same pattern. You're not fighting that person in the unique flair of gameplay. It's just, how do I perform the flowchart better than the next person to win easily, right?
This is coming from a guy who plays the same pattern.
I say this.
Drive rush,
and
throw.
Button Check actually said it in his content.
Jab, drive
is it
rush,
that because
throw,
DSP is saying that no one will
super.
listen?
Like,
do people actually agree with this sentiment?
If it's like if it's the third round in a match, he does a level 3 super like after he does a combo that ends a level 3 super all the time. Like, it is ridiculous, and it's just lame. It's just I just want to make sure I can win the third round.
He says it doesn't matter, and then in 2-3 years, all of a sudden, everyone else will say it publicly and agree. Well, it's happening faster than you thought.
Like, he doesn't even use the critical art version of level 3. He just does level 3. He doesn't even want to try to save it as like a reversal.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, pros and or former pros are starting to now step up and criticize Street Fighter 6 in a way that I feel like they should. And I'm glad that people are finally having
Okay.
balls to do so.
All
and in
right.
fact, the
They're
person
having
who I'm
balls to
highlighting
say
today
this.
is not
Okay.
only one of the best
Say
Street Fighter
06
players of
is
all
bad
time
is
in
a
the
very
United
brave
States,
stake.
but also
Stake.
is well regarded as someone who knows his shit when he talks about games.
Right.
The person I'm talking about is a person who I used to actually play against and run tournaments in and for back in the day, Sanford Kelly.
Okay, so where does it say Street Fighter 6 sucks? Let's read what he says, since I don't think DSP... well, he probably will. Street Fighter 4 was very special to me because of the skill and mastery. I miss watching Street Fighter streams and seeing character-specific combos and trades into stuff. The execution and reactions people had were insane to play against and watch. I miss that era of Street Fighter. That's all it's saying. He's not really saying Street Fighter 6 is a bad game. I mean, I guess you could say, well, he's criticizing modern Street Fighter games because it doesn't have the same thing as Street Fighter 4. But someone's gonna say the same shit about Street Fighter 6 5 years from now. Like, dude, who cares? Who cares about this? Like, get over it. People still play Street Fighter 4, play that game, whatever. But this is just a whatever statement to say that Street Fighter 4 is better because of this and that. Like, people can say that about anything. And I just think it's kind of annoying. Like, this is why people probably don't want people to say this a lot, is because it's just tiring to just hear, new game suck, old game good. Like, you know, there's times where I feel kind of insecure about enjoying Strive because I've seen so many people like praise Accent Core and Exart, and it's like I like those games too. Don't get me wrong, but I like playing Strive just as much. But it's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'll just play whatever. I like Strive. I like Exart. I like them. I like them all. Why do I don't need to validate what I like? So, you know, I get what this guy is saying, but at the same time, like, he's just, in my opinion, I think he's more focusing on an era than just the quality of a game. You know, like, because he's not getting the same kind of enjoyment out of Street Fighter 6 as he did in Street Fighter 4 because that was his, like, first fighting game, right?
One of the best Marvel 2 players of all time, if not arguably the best Marvel Play 2 of all time. Maybe you could say Justin Wong was better, Yipes was better, but he's definitely up there, right? So here's what he had to say about Street Fighter in the modern era. Okay? Street Fighter 4.
But you also notice that he's also that Sanford Kelly didn't even mention about uploading videos. He even talked about watching streams. So he'd actually like what they're doing now, right? Because it's people are uploading and they're streaming the new characters immediately and all this other stuff.
Was very special to me because of the skill and mastery. I miss watching Street Fighter streams and seeing character-specific combos and trades into stuff. The execution and reactions people had were insane to play against and watch. I miss that era of Street Fighter. Gee, does that sound familiar?
No.
Does that sound familiar to anyone? It kind of sounds like what I was saying. That essentially, Street Fighter now is boring.
Crying about modern fighting games.
No one plays individually. No one thinks for themselves. There's no era of discovery. Everyone just knows the meta within 2 weeks.
He's like, no, there's no individual thinking. But what is this? That he's like trying to brainwash all of us to agree with him that all of the games were better than new games. Like, isn't that also a form of like being not being an individual?
Copies each other, and now when you go to a tournament or you watch a tournament, it's boring as shit. There's no individuality. He's absolutely right. In Street Fighter 4, there was character-specific setups. There was actually, this person's so good with this character, they've mastered the game and now play it differently than someone else and can kick ass. They can pick a low-tier character and dominate with the low tier.
But this could still happen. Like, this is kind of, I don't know, I kind of...
Let's read some of the supplies.
Because I don't understand, right? Because, I saw someone who played Jack with this one tournament, they picked Giovanna, because there were a Giovanna and a Jacko player in this tournament. They picked Giovanna specifically because this person can handle Happy Chaos better with Giovanna. But to me, I had an easier time fighting Happy Chaos as Jacko. So it's like, so if everyone is supposed to play the same and all this, then why is it that I was able to fight Happy Chaos as Jacko a little bit better than I did, before, but this other person couldn't? Does that mean that I'm cheating? No, it just means that people still play differently. When they say that people are doing the same combos and it's like it lacks individual timing and this and that, I just think it's just there's not a lot of routes that are in the fighting game. I don't think, because I've seen similar routes in fighting games. Like if I'm playing Strive Online, I know what someone's trying to get me to be in so they can continue a setup. But that's just like, I feel that's with any fighting game anyway. I just think that it's more pronounced now because the skill ceiling is not as high as it was in older games. But see, this is what I mean when I say that I don't think DSP understands what people are talking about. Because the reason why I'm talking about skill ceilings and this and that is because I've listened to other people talk about these games. Like, oh, in Strive, the skill ceiling on characters doesn't go as high versus Exard, where you can go pretty high. Like there's a lot of stuff to go in with matchup knowledge and all this other and system knowledge, all this stuff. With Strive, it's not that deep. I mean, it could be hard for other reasons, but it's not like the skill ceiling for characters are not that high. And I felt that with Baiken. I like Baiken, but her skill ceiling I don't think is that high. They fixed her a lot with each patches, but it's like they need to give her a new move. They're not giving her one, and it's just like, I don't know. They need to give her something. They changed the property of her parry, and that's fine, but give her something else. Give her something new.
The replies. Yeah, man, me too. I'm just looking at a match and immediately knowing who is playing simply because of their play style. Street Fighter 4 era was a special time. In terms of gameplay, I didn't even need to be able to play like the pros to follow streams and tournaments. All I needed was to play the game myself to understand what I'm watching. So dumbing down Street Fighter 5 and 6 for casual still hurt my interest in the games. Street Fighter 4 having Chun played by multiple people, you could feel the style each had. Each played her differently. Street Fighter 6, you can't tell one Akuma or Ken apart from the other.
But one has a different fireball.
Gee, it seems like people agree with me. Except because Sanford said it, now it's cool. But when DSP said it a month ago, oh, fuck DSP.
But the other thing is that these people would not respond to his Twitter anyway. And also, he had replies off as well, so, like, why would anyone care, right? But if he has these takes, why doesn't he tweet these takes? He only says it to his echo chamber with an audience of trolls. But it's like, you watch the fighting game footage, and it's just, he doesn't know how to do anything.
He's talking about, right?
He plays fucking Blanc and he can't handle Cammy.
I know a lot of people feel the same way you do. The same people should put in work to try to keep the game alive. My personal favorite set, it shows a Seth set. Crazy part is it's literally just nostalgia goggles. The games are as exciting to watch, if not more, than they've ever been.
Ooh, this is a good one. Crazy part is it's literally just nostalgia goggles. The games are just as exciting to watch, if not more than they've ever been. We're just getting older, and things aren't as fun as they used to be. Oh my god. Oh man.
We're just getting older, and things aren't as fun as they used to be. Wrong. You're a child.
By the way, DSP has said this same thing to other people. I don't know which game it was that he said this about, but you know what I'm talking about, where he was saying, so I playing this game, and everyone's saying, it's not as good as the old one. They have these rose-colored glasses, and they're writing something that's not as good as the old one. It's just as good as the old one. I want to say he did that about God of War. I want to say he said the same about God of War, but he has mocked people for having nostalgia goggles on for many reasons. And now he's like shitting on this dude for saying the same thing.
You're actually a child. You weren't around during the era when Street Fighter was exciting. Now you watch a tournament and it's boring. Back then it used to be, oh my god, are you telling me this top level person's gonna face this top level person? It's a never before seen match, and we're gonna see crazy levels of competition and things we've never seen before.
Like,
it was epic.
This is kind of unfair to the new generation because once you see people fight in fighting games in that kind of stage, you've seen it all, so you're already gonna like okay, this is a fighting game, whatever.
It doesn't matter who the fuck's playing. It's all the same crap. The time, oh, this is a good one. The time of Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3 was the last era where you could watch a tournament and actually have a chance to see something you've never
I know
seen
he
before.
called Marvel 3 a stream monster game. He hated Marvel 3 and said it was not a real fighting game. But now it's good because it proves it validates his fucking nonsense.
Stuff you didn't even know was possible. It was an amazing era. And again, why?
Why?
Because now everything is put on the internet immediately. The meta is already
Wait, what? Stuff you don't even know is oh, okay, that's where he's talking about like people upload the meta, but that's not really true. Even back then, people were uploading stuff during Street Fighter 4. I mean, DC was uploading gameplay footage. Okay.
spoiled. There's no reason for it because competitively it makes no sense to do it.
It makes no
If you
sense.
know tech, keep the tech. Use it in a tournament for your advantage. Why would you give it to everyone? Why would you tell the secret of how to play something competitively to the world? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I low-key think it's so dumb when people like shit on this, like DSP, that they don't want to share like knowledge. I mean, sure, some people keep some knowledge to themselves, but some people like sharing knowledge generally to help someone else play the game. Like, he acts as if like if you like a meta video or explaining a combo, they're explaining everything. It's like that's not really the case. Like, some people keep a combo to themselves, but sometimes people just want to share it. Like, this is like it's kind of like assuming everyone who's playing the game are doing it for their own self-interest and not just for fun, and they want to share what they've learned and what they discovered. Like this is like a very needlessly angry sentiment that is like, again, why be miserable? Like why be upset that people are sharing their gameplay like this?
Sense. But these people do it. It's like they're just morons. Hey, just give away the keys to the kingdom. And now the game is boring within a few months. Right? Like,
I mean, I still play
here we
Strive,
go.
and people said that
Same,
game's
watching
boring.
offline tournament
Aw.
streams to watch one person be a specialist with one character. Watch use Oni and Sagat. Zeus would use Vega. Sako would use Evil Ryu. Now you can run videos of 5 players using the same character. You could never guess who was using them outside of hit confirms.
Okay, but
There you go.
that's
I mean, I
pretty
can just keep
different.
going.
Whatever.
All right. But the funny part is they're all saying, oh, here you go. Street Fighter 4 high-level tournaments were timeless. Now it's just throw loop and 50-50. Exactly right. You get to the
Exactly
corner,
right.
throw loop, 50-50 gas, throw loop, 50-50 gas. That's Street Fighter 6 in a nutshell now.
A lot
It's
of games
awful.
have 50-50 setups, though.
Okay, it really is
but
awful.
Whatever.
So there you go. And the
Okay.
funny part is, I say it about Street Fighter 2.
Man, a bunch
Why
of
do I say it
babies
about
in
Street
chat,
Fighter
and
2?
these-
Because
these
that's
are
the
like
era I
nobody's
was
too.
around for. These
Oh, it's
guys
all
are nostalgic
50-50
about
throw
Street Fighter
loops.
4
Maybe
because
break
that
the
was
throw
their
loop,
nostalgic
dumbass.
era. For those who don't know,
Bleh.
Sanford is younger than me, and he didn't play the classics like I did.
Man.
He got into it around the era of Marvel 2. So to him, the nostalgia factor is going to be starting around Marvel 2 through like Street Fighter 4. For me, it's Street Fighter 2. Do you see?
Okay,
So,
does that matter? No,
it's true.
It doesn't. It's true.
It's not just me saying it. People are agreeing. But because I said it, erase it, it doesn't matter because that's DSP saying it, right?
See, I love that the highlight of this is because he's that nobody listens to him. But you look at what they're talking about. They're just saying that they like the Street Fighter 4 era. They like when it's like then versus now, which is like, okay. I mean, people can feel that, but these are just general sentiments. People are always looking back and saying, "Oh, this era was good." The only people not looking back are the people who were like who started the era, right? Like, so obviously DC's not gonna sit there and look back at the era before him because there's no one before him.
What I should do is I should just take my takes and I should bring them to other people in the FGC and have them say them instead. Seriously. Maybe that's just what I should do. Don't say it myself in my own content. Instead, let's just
But if you really cared for what you said, then it shouldn't matter who believes you, right? Like, shouldn't you say it because you care about the truth and what you say, right? Okay.
have someone else say it, and then they'll actually get traction and people will talk to them about it and believe them. Because this is a major problem with Street Fighter 6. 100%. The game's too easy to play. The game doesn't have any kind of skill check at all besides sitting in a lab for an hour
Dude,
practicing.
Blanc is a fucking skill check. Fuck that character, man. Like, dude, it's just annoying. Just Blanca Ball, Electricity, Blanca-chan, Blanca Ball. Like, fuck off. Blanca Ball is like the safest move. Fuck that character. Get out of here.
A combo or a strategy.
Again, this is coming from the dude who relies on gimmick characters like Blanca and fucking Honda. When he plays a character like Luke, he falls apart because he can't rely on gimmicks.
Everyone is exposing the meta of every character within a few days.
I'm surprised he
Therefore,
played Mai as
everything
long
is
as
boring within a week or two.
By the way, how long did he play Mai, by the way? Was it 3 weeks? Isn't it funny, right? He plays this character for 3 weeks, draws Street Fighter 6, and then it's like, well, I'm bored with this game, and people are saying that they're waiting for Elena. That's what DSP does all the time. He played it for 3 weeks and is already done with the game. But no, everyone is doing that. But yet there's still people playing Street Fighter 6. Whatever.
And no one, like I said, that's exactly what happened with Mai Shiranui. Oh, a new character, this is exciting. And people ran and played with her for a week. And then on week 2, everything was already exposed. By week 3, no one cared. Everyone's bored. We're on to other.
How long did DSP play Mai? As I said, he probably played it for 3 weeks, and he moved on. He's projecting himself again.
Other stuff. When's Elena coming out?
And these are like people who are like not gonna stick with the game. There's always gonna be tourists that will play when the DLC drops, then they'll leave the game. Like, that doesn't mean 0 people play or 0 people care. Like, it kind of exposes how little DSP even cares about Street Fighter 6. He's a fake fan, honestly. Like, I've been playing Strive regardless. Oh, like, I've been playing even after, like, each DLC character came out, because that's how much I like the game. Yeah, there's people playing more now because Venom came out, but after a while, they're gonna stop playing the game. But I'll still play the game, and I'll still care about the game, because I like the game, right? But DSP saying this kind of shit just exposes how little he cares, because if you genuinely like a game, it's not gonna matter about what other people think of it, right?
Yeah. That's not supposed to be the life cycle of a fighting game. There's supposed to be this entire time period where people are playing and learning and discovering for themselves, and then they try different strategies against each other in a competitive environment until finally, after weeks to months to years of arduous practice.
This is way different from back then versus now, where you have the internet. Like, this is a very different landscape. You can't really make the same fighting. Like, let's say Super Turbo came out today. It's not gonna have the same longevity as it did when it came out initially. Like it's a different landscape than it ever was before. I mean, to be fair, Sanford Kelly, whatever the fuck, was more apropos mentioning Street Fighter 4. Because that's at least around the time when the internet was like a thing and all this other stuff. But it is a different delivery. Things are going on the internet, people are posting about it, people are doing online tournaments, all this stuff.
Practice, people figure it out. Not, oh, we spoiled the whole game within hours of it being, like, what are you doing, you fucking morons? You're ruining competitive gaming by doing that. You literally are. You've taken out all of the fun era. I just don't get it. I don't get why these people keep doing it.
I don't know why they do this. I don't know why they do this.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Moriturian says, well, how would you fix the issue? Well, to be frank, there is a way to fix the issue. It's just that Capcom doesn't like it.
How do they fix it?
Do you want to know the way to fix the issue?
Right, tell us.
Make fighting games hard to play again.
Oh.
Make it so that you actually need to have skill
to
play a fighting game. Not that every character can be played in a silly easy mode pattern and you just need to memorize the pattern. But that's what they've become because they want to sell to a maximum audience, you see?
But isn't that all fighting games
in an era when
at the end of the
moves
day?
were actually hard to pull off all the time. Combos needed really tough...
Notice that the moment someone downloads DSP in these modern fighting games, he falls apart immediately. He crumbles. He crumbles under the pressure.
Frame-specific timing. Footsies were required to actually play a fighting game, right?
He doesn't know anything about frame data,
his character can completely skip neutral, but instead you need to have knowledge of how to play.
He played Bison. Bison and kept skipping neutral. Get out of here.
With zoning and stuff like that. You know, make them hard to play again. Now, what'll happen is immediately 60% of the scrubby
Dude,
ass
he's saying this, but he dropped fighting games for being too hard. Literally didn't want to continue playing Tekken 8 because it was too hard. Doesn't want to play Guilty or too hard. Why not? I thought you want skill-based fighting games, and he has a gaming PC. He could play the new, oh well, not new. It's like rollback version of fucking Exard Revelator 2. He could play that, but if he really wants to play with his favorite netcode, he could play on his PlayStation 5. He could play Revelator 2 on that, because that doesn't have rollback. That has his favorite netcode, so he could play that. Why not? It's a hard game, and he can learn, and it's skill-based, and all that fun stuff, right?
ass bitches who can't play fighting games and only play them because they're easy mode will drop off. But the game will be good again. And now tournaments will be fun. And now people won't be able to spoil the meta in 5 seconds because guess what? It's too hard to pull off the meta. Like right now, there are top players in Super Turbo who are insanely good with T-Hawk. But guess what? T-Hawk's the hardest character in the game to play with. So unless you're in...
But that's true now, though. People, like... Dude, there's a reason I keep bringing this up, that when Jacko won that one tournament last year, it was a big deal, because Jacko was not known to be a good character in Strive. Like, she's not like a high-tier character, she's not low-tier, but she's not like a good character. And people are like, what the fuck, you won a tournament? Like, I don't think there were a lot of, like, Jackos that won majors like that. And it's like, yeah, like, that's a big deal. But okay, whatever.
Insanely superbly good, you'll never win a tournament with T-Hawk. But people are doing it. It's just that it's hard to do. Right now, if you expose the meta of Street Fighter 6, it's super easy to do it with any character, so everyone can just do it and the game is boring.
Why doesn't he win against Cammy?
That's what they got to do.
Why are
Bring
Cammy so
back
hard for him?
tough timing, execution, frame-specific
so
moves,
easy, right?
footsies, space, all the shit that's been removed for pattern,
there is footsies.
pattern, guessing, pattern, throw loop, 50-50, pattern. Get rid of it all. Bring it back to basics. Make it tough to play. Make it so that you have to get the fucking sweat.
None of these people are really talking about patterns. They're just talking about like simplistic, oh, whatever, you know, whatever.
That's to win a tough match. Instead of I just flowchart it. But then everyone will quit who's a scrub. But your game will be good. It's kind of like I've been saying all along. In the modern era, the people who are making new games aren't making them to make them good or meaningful. Like back in the day when a good video game came out, it was we want to make the most competitive game ever. We want to make the most artistic game ever, right? We want to make a memorable moment. Now it's just, how do we sell the game? How do we make maximum profits? How do we make it that the game is played by everyone? Doesn't matter if the game's good, just make it addictive or catchy or easy. Then everyone will play it and we're rich. Well, that's great, but then you end up with Street Fighter 6. A fucking boring-ass game that plays exactly the same for everyone, that you get exposed within 2 or 3 weeks, everything's known, and everyone's just bored and just wants another character.
Now Street Fighter 6 is like the Doom. Oh, man. You make a fighting game, you're gonna get Street Fighter 6. Bad. Like, jeez, man. I thought you loved this game. He said, oh, Capcom listened. Dude, you could do a whole ass video of him praising Street Fighter 6. And now, it's bad. Now it's bad. I can't wait for him to start begging Capcom to drop it and to make Street Fighter 7. Because that's what happened with 5. Capcom is milking the audience. They keep making characters for Street Fighter 5, and they keep buying it. Bunch of fucking idiots. They should make Street Fighter 6. And then he was also pretending that he was like gonna skip it. And I saw like that one image that was leaked, and he was like, "Oh, I look stupid." And then they saw the other leaked image, and he was like, "It looks so cool, dude. DJ, I love DJ."
And they don't put out enough content to really satisfy the audience. That's what you'll get. That's your end result. You dumbed it down to sell, and now the game sucks. It's Capcom's fault.
Man, he should be happy he doesn't have BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle in his fucking franchise.
Okay.
Jesus, I hate that game.
All right,
I
folks.
hate Cross Tag Battle.
I got some more contributions. We got
All right, that's it for this video, guys. 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna fill some time. So I'm gonna explain why Cross Tag BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle is a piece of shit game and nobody should play it. I'm glad it died. It is a terrible fucking game. Terrible characters, terrible guest characters. That fucking Ruby. Who fucking gives a fucking Ruby? Am I right? Thirdly, Okay, so I played BlazBlue Central Fiction. Solid game. Nine the Phantom was my main character. I love that character. She had a cool mechanic where you get to like mix up spells in her little meter bar. Fun character. She was cool. They had her in BlazBlue Cross-Tag Battle. They ruined her. They just fucking destroyed her. Got rid of all this so they made her fun. She has this over that like tracks the opponent. My favorite move, and someone kept fucking crouch blocking and all that shit, I would just do that just to fuck them up. That was in a fixed position where it's only like, this is 9, like right here. Whatever, that it would happen. Nobody would ever be in that position. It was a terrible move. Terrible character. They threw in Mitsuru because it had Persona 4 characters in it. No, Persona 4 Arena characters. Gotta be specific on that one. And she was DLC character, which was fucking expensive. The DLC was insane for that game. So that's another fucking scam that I like fucking fell into. Sadly, I wasted money on that fucking piece of shit game. Thinking, okay, maybe I don't have the characters I need in this game because the base roster, trash, garbage game. I think was Aigis in the base roster? I don't even remember. Whatever. It was all yeah, I knew it had like fucking Yu and Yosuke, garbage characters. Whatever. So I was like, okay, maybe I need my mains. Maybe once they release them, I'll like the game more. So they do that. I get fucking Mitsuru. Not a good character. Garbage. Garbage character. They ruined her too. Terrible game. And for this to be a BlazBlue game, like this is the newest BlazBlue game, and the gameplay, it was like 2 buttons. It's a 2-button game basically. Not good. Garbage. Just auto combo nonsense. Not fun. Trash. Everyone hated this game, and the game died rightfully so. It is just trash. Awful game. I hated this game, and it's sad. It killed that franchise. Like these are talking about how oh, this game killed the franchise. Oh, Street Fighter 5 killed Street Fighter. Yet meanwhile, it got a follow-up that was pretty good. BlazBlue got Cross-Tag Battle, and what else? Nothing. There's been no new BlazBlue game for years. Years! The only new one that they had was like a fucking, was it a MOBA or whatever the fuck, a mobile game? Wow, great. That's what the BlazBlue audience wants. So that game franchise died. It's dead. It's never coming back. And now it's relegated to it being nothing but gooner fucking discourse now. I go on Twitter and it's part of the fucking nonsense. Oh, guys, if you like BlazBlue, it's a gooner game. Look at this design. And it's like, I get why people say it's a gooner game, but you don't have to rope in everyone that just plays the game as part of the gooners. Okay, there's other characters that I like Azrael or whatever the fuck his name is. He was a cool character. Rayless, he's a puppet character, and he's pretty evil and cool. But everyone's, oh, it's a gooner game. Look at this character in their Skippy outfit. Look, I don't know the artist. I don't know who made these designs. I ain't gonna tell you whatever. But the game was fun. That's that at that point, and anything else is blissful ignorance on my part. But that's it. That's all I remember of BlazBlue, and it died with Cross-Tag Battle, and now nobody talks about it, and it's now just used to be endless discourse on Twitter, on the Twitter rage machine. I don't need that in my life. That's why Guilty Gear is the GOAT. It will stand the test of time, even though people they have their own discourse on that and whatever. Hey, say what you want about that game. I still play it. I still like it. Venom is fun, and I've seen people say Venom is bad. Does Venom suck? Does Venom suck in Guilty Gear? I don't know. I never played him in the other games. I don't know how he is. So that is it for this video. I tried to pad it out as much as I can. I hope you enjoyed the pad segment. I hope to see you in the next one. Be it whatever it may be, and have a nice week. Have a nice life. Bye.